Before new Dancing on Ice live at 6. All the latest now this Sunday evening. Here's the ITV News.
The Queen marks 70 years on the throne with a nod to the past and a wish for the future. She marks a milestone in Sandringham where her father passed away. And she honours Camilla by suggesting she should be Queen Consort once Charles becomes king. Also ahead. A lawyer claims convicted killer Levi Belfield has confessed to murdering Lynn and Megan Russell in 1996.
I'm totally convinced it's absolutely a genuine confession.
The cost of living crisis, the chair of Tesco warns food bills will keep on climbing this spring. And remembering a Bollywood legend, India begins 2 days of mourning for singer Lata Mangeshkar.
This is ITV News with Lucrezia Millerini.
Good evening. The Queen has marked the 70th anniversary of her accession to the throne by setting out her hopes for the future of the monarchy. In a rare intervention on the day of her Platinum Jubilee, she expressed her sincere wish that her daughter-in-law, Camilla, be known as Queen Consort when Charles becomes king. The Prince of Wales has in turn paid tribute to his mother's reign and reflected on the honour her announcement represents. The Queen has spent the day at her Sandringham residence in Norfolk, from where our royal editor Chris Shipp reports.
It's from the Foreign Secretary.
70 years to the day since she became Queen, and the message from Buckingham Palace was that the work goes on. The new footage, released today but filmed earlier in the week, has the Queen still attending to and signing papers from her famous red box, alongside her private secretary.
It's really nice comments, including one from President Biden.
Oh, that's very kind, isn't it?
Behind the Queen, a photograph of her father George VI, whose death today in 1952 started her reign. Also behind her, a photo of the Queen Mother, the last Queen Consort to a king. And it was on this day the monarch chose to express her wish for her daughter-in-law to be called Queen Camilla when she becomes, by law, the next Queen Consort. That surprise wish on a long-debated and often contested issue was made in the Accession Day message, one which, after 7 decades, the Queen signed, "Your servant Elizabeth R." Prince Charles and Camilla responded today saying, "We are deeply conscious of the honour represented by my mother's wish. As we have sought together to serve and support Her Majesty and the people of our communities, my darling wife has been my own steadfast support throughout." But some of those who waited in vain to see the Queen at church today still had Princess Diana in mind when we asked about Queen Camilla.
I have a little element of doubt, but I think it's probably the best thing for the country and best thing for him.
Can I ask, what is that element of doubt, and why would you have, say, 20 years ago thought, oh, goodness me, I wouldn't want a Queen Camilla?
The Diana issue.
Exactly, yeah. Still there, even now? Yeah.
Yes.
Queen Camilla.
Yeah.
You pulled a slight face there.
Well, I think it will happen, and I think, she'll be good, I think, but obviously we still all miss Diana, don't we?
And I think what she said about Prince Philip, that he's been her strength and stay, and he's helped her through her reign, then she wants the same for her son.
As the Queen looks back on the death of her father 7 decades ago, Accession Day is always a day of reflection. But we are now at the start of an historic Platinum Jubilee year. And increasingly this Queen is looking ahead to the future, to a time when the monarchy passes to her son.
And Chris, just how much has today been about the past and how much is looking to the future?
Well, I think, Lucrezia, there's a couple of things to note from a windy Sandringham tonight, and one is the remarkable transformation of Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall. I mean, if I were to have asked those very similar questions here, 20 years ago or so, I wouldn't got anything like the responses I got today. I think people would have been vehemently opposed to a Queen Camilla, and yet, you know, over those last 2 decades she's got her head down. She's supported some very worthy causes. I've seen them for myself, you know, things like supporting the victims of domestic violence, which is, you know, one of the areas of work she puts a lot of time into. I think perhaps the other thing to note tonight is perhaps there's a new realisation over the last 9 months or so of the role the consort plays to the monarch, ever since, of course, the death of Prince Philip. And what the Queen is trying to do, using this historic accession day, is look to the future. She's been doing that increasingly so in messages recently, and taking a decision now so that her son doesn't have to, so that the transition, when it comes, is as smooth as possible.